Kumasi lockdown. Do we really need this as Asante Hima goes home? Asante Hima, Nana Konedu, Yadom the third, is gone at the age of 98. She's gone. She was born somewhere.
Right, Abisha need your quan so my mamma Aquaba, Emra, Udia Sampa TV, Mosom for Dia Sampani. Trading upon my beer quine in area and with the immediate set on a year, or the Makama Darman and take me so many more day. Now at the end, say, a black Rasta, the controversy man. Will posting a particular video be now me call video now say call her comment in the hey, punch, my Mindika mouth. Comment about could be I was like, I gonna for no more punches here. Now Abusha Nini na no about Yura or take a course na yenina yenana we're trying to actually a buy na enra a mamrani a mania pine so ye didn't a corner crassy. You see? Nkoma ye ba be di we a me de batum na nkan ba ma me fa nkan ho yenuanom asante fo bebre na no e chere se asante amamre ne amane and omano den onya ka asante asem se kim wey asama ba eye because mpinfo kra bu bebi se obi enu ode ne nsa benkum e chere ne agya efie nanso yenuanom asante fo ne bebre nanso ennim amamre ne amane omo nnim kasampo nti wo de comedian do so na akọwe obi tumi ka se ena na hima awu ene na ye kwakosie no wo so ya asantini wo ya kanni meme ya kanni akanfo ye kasa eho ete nti ne ye se enugwase emfata akanni nti wo kasa ma wo kasa kra eho emranyam ukogina ahemfie na opanyi etwa nani ekere ban na ukogina ekase nana awu a asamato yeti udedua nanso enne yenuanu masantifo no bia aba enya santifo no kwan akanfo na aba na enim amamre ne amane nti ye kasa anyhow yotumi kasa na nanawu ene wetwa e momu nim amame nkyere mo ade kakra yensua ade kakra ansa ne ato ankomo no so wetwa nani akyere eban waka nkyene agu wokọ na kura ase nanadan so apa. This is the kind of words I use to edema yen pain for your him for no name dignity in terms of royalty no and no and I the emom into madarma we ni addition kakra amede ebram na punchline no before somebody asam na beba na nkasa no mpesa me mamo punchline na nipa no man na baako ini o say hey amafo no yo I say, Massa, I thought you were wise. Oh, sir, where Jimmy, sir? Boy, Massa, I thought you were wise. Oh, sir, where Jimmy, sir? Yamin American way, coach, my fancy on that. Ubi a my cousin be a mena in it. And I had one. Na, Nina, and say, Enra, de. Yana na eko na kura ase no asante amamremu and you know say eba say akana ya amamre ni amane na nkasa no slightly different bi nti say ye de nana eko na kura enwumre kra de obia MP ewo ba bia ya tututuo ni niam ahodo anadwo ni pipe ni ade eno de na taachire ni de eyi na ekoba se ya shout Ashanti enyina na se Kumasi nyina down ena ye ma exception ebi Black Rasta ebebobo ni nyina ena all ka say this 21st century eniema asesa adenti na o se ye yesa me mpesa me do mo asuko na me ensem bia Black Rasta eka ba bi o ha me ne ya adwen ba bi o so a me ne no enya adwen na me pre video na me nyina ya hwe yewi a me so me opinion na wo mu me de baba by one thing a mesre era and say ebia no ho me video yi ana say ebia mpemfo bi behu near to me am a video na reach out and kabe me de ene say nana wada oroma wa kire ya me hu say ampa ukuta tumi na aya na mu statement bi a mu state ena politicians aji yotumi afri yensem 1992 constitution aji yotumi afri yensem no minianom wada oroma we ya Asantini we ya Kanini we ya Kwawuni we ya Mosini we ya Dagatini we ya Kuapumni we ya Bononi we ya Waini. This the time I was a choma who say ahemfo no omu try and throw until they need to do something. And one beautiful thing so a woman say citizen no ye da so e cherish ya ahemfo no inti Emma omo nye peseminkum ya endwen omo nkwa omo ho endimande niema a efavor omo nkwa from politicians no nemom tumi no ne ye support na ye de ta omo achi no omo fa mpre ne ye pa emfa man memfa no nto after Black Rasta video no there's so many breakdowns are meye no video no to send ye be video no wa bitwa no short edit amount. Let's also have you there Asante TV. Wada no nya subscribe to channel na subscribe share. But after no make us you kun send be the video for tomorrow. Osa beka bi no aye. Minim say we ya make obi baba be di matem. Asem ya make kan so me kan bone. Me prema me ene onu hia ne ba na data akra na ho ode ma no no. Bo baba be di matem. So no cry so na me kan. Ebia na ode o mema sem awo ho dadwene asthma diabetes ne hepatitis B tete. Now so ji amamre ni amane di na se pure organic herbal remedy and our open kwan dey for when nchire ba bia e odi Asante Spiritual Herbal Center. Number na egu ase on 0543304976 eno na wo be free e benya ho adaje no adi nkomo na abisa how no ba bi free ba say ye sunsum afam so kra na e bi di ho dwuma e de amount ye nkonkotie Black Rasta ebra
Kumasi lockdown. Do we really need this as Asante Hima goes home? Asante Hima Nana Konedu Yadom the third is gone at the age of 98. She's gone. She was born somewhere in 1927 and she passed on a few days ago in 2025. Beautiful Queen Mother. Her mother was Nana Efua Kobi II, who was a very powerful Asante Hima. In fact, she was only 20 years when she gave birth to this woman. She herself, my brother, my sister, was born in 1907, 2 years before Kwame Nkrumah was born. My brother, my sister. And that wonderful woman, the mother of this Asante Hima who just passed on, my brother, my sister, died at the age of 109. She became, in fact, on record, the longest Ashanti royal in history, longest living. My brother, my sister. Now let us give you a little bit of history. Nana Efua Kobi II, the mother of this Asante Hima who just passed on, was a very powerful woman. She had 5 children. This one who just left, and the present Asante Hine. Asante Hine, Nana Otumfuo II. Powerful man. Nana Otumfuo Osetutu II. My brother, my sister, now let's delve deeper into this history. Now, Asante Hine's father was a carpenter from Besiase, near a village called Eti Matim. He was a carpenter. Many people simply called him Kofi, and others called him Kewo. He was a carpenter. A carpenter who was pulled out of love and married this powerful woman called Nana Efua Kobi II. Those of you who know a little bit of Ashanti history, In fact, Nana Efua the first was a very dangerous queen mother of Ashanti who could kill at will in order to get her will. Jesus. But let us not make the history complex. Asante Hini's father was a carpenter, like Jesus Christ. Very humble profession. And his mother was a royal who was so powerful. They gave birth to 5 powerful children. Asante Hini, Nana Otumfuo II was the last one. My brother, my sister. Now listen to this interesting thing. Asante Hini's mother died at the age of 109. Somewhere in 2016 thereabout. And therefore, this one here who just passed on, Nana Konadu Yadum III, was installed Queen Mother or Asante Hima on the 6th of February. And I'll never forget, in 2017, that's the birthday of Bob Marley. And when she came on, she stayed there all through until 2025 when she passed on. Now let's go into the meat of the story now. Having told you the history. This woman here called Asante Hima Nana Konadu Yadum III. She lived for 98 solid years. When her mother died, Nana Efua Kobi II, there was a curfew in Kumasi. Curfew. Between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m., not a soul was permitted to come out from any part of Kumasi and beyond, not even animals. If animals were caught, they became the property of Manyia. In fact, ghosts were not even permitted to come out. Between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m. And interestingly, a lot of businesses were closed when the Queen Mother, who died at the age of 109, went home. Today, her daughter is also gone. At the age of 98, we are told. My brother, my sister, born in 1927, when her mother was a young 20-year-old. She just moved from the teens. My brother, my sister. And it looks like it's even going to be worse in this time. Watch this. It's all over in the news. Manyia orders closure of all schools, banks, offices, etc., etc. in Kumasi for Asante Hima's burial on Thursday. That is tomorrow, 18 September. Watch it properly. It says what? Closure of all schools, banks, offices, etc., etc. in Kumasi for Asante Hima's burial on Thursday. Schools will close. Banks are going to close. Offices are going to close because Asante Hima died at the age of 98. There must be a celebration for her long life. Her mother died at the age of 109. She has to also be, in fact, celebrated. And there was a celebration for her. And the celebration means that every business activity, everything that is economically potent and productive must come to a halt because somebody has died. Because somebody has died, banks must close, offices must close, school children, innocent as they are, must stay at home. In the days of Nana Konadu Yadum III, her mother, when she died, my brother, my sister, there was a curfew from 8 p.m. till 4 a.m. Today, my brother, my sister, is worse. But Manyia has come out to clarify what exactly it is when it's being said that schools, banks, offices, etc., in Kumasi should close down for the period. And this is contained in this report from Ghana Web. It says, Manyia Palace lists essential services exempt from Kumasi curfew during Ashanti Hima's funeral. Let's see what it is. Run it. Now, the Manyia Palace has clarified that selected essential service providers will be exempt from the one-day business closure in Kumasi on Thursday, that's tomorrow, September 18, as the Ashanti Kingdom observes the final burial rites of the late Ashanti Hima, Nana Konedu Yadum III. In a statement signed by Acting Chief of Staff, Nana Ifa Apenteng, the palace announced that banks, pharmacies, underline that, fuel stations, restaurants, and transport operators would continue their operations. Did you see hospitals there? The palace announced that banks, pharmacies, fuel stations, restaurants, and transport operators would continue their operations. And that's not the end. It says utility providers such as Electricity Company of Ghana, Ghana Water Company, as well as emergency and health-related services, including the fire service, ambulance service, and the Ghana Health Service, are also exempt from the directive. So you see that the hospitals in here, dash it. My brother, my sister, why are there exemptions? Why? Why the hospital? Why the fire service? Why the pharmacists and all those? But the rest can close down. I am sure Manyia would say to itself, oh, this is very important. These services are between life and death. And for that matter, they should go on. If you are sick, you have to go to the hospital, the pharmacy. There must be electricity. There must be water. There must be all that. But all other activities, including the banks, they must close. Schools, they must close. And much more. My brother, my sister, do you know how much the nation is going to lose by this directive? A nation that is struggling to stand on its 2 feet. A nation that just came out of a very abysmal regime of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Mahmoud Bawumia. The nation that needs every penny to be able to resurrect from the doldrums and the ashes of economic death is closing down such a big place like Kumasi, the second biggest and most important city in Ghana, because a very important royal has died. If I ever was a royal in Manyia and I died, and even a single school was closed, I'll become a ghost. I'll come and whip all the people, one after the other, from the towns and villages. Anybody who has been responsible for closing a single school because I died, I will whip the hell out of every one of them. What is the importance? They say culture. Some people say, oh, but when the Ghana people are also having their homo war, yes, they also stop noise making. So my question is, what is the definition of noise? Academically, noise is any sound that is not musical to the ear. That is noise. Any sound that the ear dislikes is called noise. That is very subjective. What is noise to you would be music to me. So how do the Ghana people come out and describe this as noise and that as noise? I think generally they stop all forms of sound, be it music, be it noise. Every kind of sound at the time is noise when it comes to homo. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. You can play music, whether it's gospel music or traditional music or high life, any kind of music is banned at the time. Churches cannot play drums. You can't come out there and be drumming. Any form of music, any form of sound that is generated intentionally by beating something or playing that thing from a certain machine is banned. My brother, my sister. And some people say, well, because this is happening, it's tradition. Let's allow our traditions to go. My brother, traditions have changed. We have to look at some of these traditions. Look, there was a time, any Ashanti who died, they had to catch somebody and slaughter the person and bury the person with Ashanti because Ashanti has died. He can't go home alone. And was say, Obi, in the north, there were kings who also had to be followed anytime they died. Why should a man die and another man would die to follow them? Because they are what? Royal, in the name of tradition. When can we grow out of this? What barbarism is that? Somebody dies because he has died. Another person must also die to accompany them because they are more human than the other humans. Can we grow from that? Even Asante Hima, Nana Konedu Yadum the third, she grew out of tradition. Can I show you something? Can I show you something? Now let me take you to Wikipedia. I ran her dossier a little bit, and you see some interesting things. Now, if you are a royal, you are supposed to be 100% traditional, right? My brother, my sister, today we see some of our kings wearing suit and tie. We see some of our kings kneel down before white popes, white bishops to pour oil on them and pray on them. That is not our tradition, is it? I'm not condemning it. What I'm saying is that things are changing. Things are changing. Nana Konedu Yadum III was born in 1927. She was a very powerful woman, as you can see here. 1927. And she was the Ashanti Hima from February 6, 2017, after her mother passed on. In fact, and when you read the story on, we've talked about the mother, we've talked about the younger brother called Otumfuo Nana Osetutu the second. Flip the page, you will see more. The point I'm trying to make is this. This pretty woman here, she was not an idol worshiper, like is expected of every royal in the name of tradition. You know what church she belonged to? Flip the page. You know what church she belonged to? Do you know what church she belonged to? My brother, my sister, flip the page. I'll tell you more. Look, flip. She belonged to two very important churches. Two important churches. In 1959, bring back that. In 1959, she was baptized into the Savior Church. 59, just 2 years after independence, and took the Christian name Ruth. In those days, how dare you go and take a name John, Jonathan at Manyia? Hey, you are called what? John. Who's your friend saying? Friend John. Who's your friend saying? Your friend Dien. Who's your friend Dien? Ha! She was called Ruth. Christian name. She didn't end there. She was an automatic patron of the Anglican Church. And she worked in all these areas to support the church. She was a Christian. Dash. What point is Black Rasta making? As times are going, we change a lot of different things. For me, it is very unproductive for any man to die because another man has died. Therefore, they need people to follow them. For me, it is very unproductive for anybody to die. For a curfew to be put in place because somebody has died. Schools have to close. Whatever. All these things are closing. But those that impact you directly, food, open. Electricity, open. Hospital, open. The rest of them that do not impact you directly, you close all of them down. Homo. No noise making. What is productive about the kind of sound that is done at the time? Can we look at the value, economic value? If we're going to continue doing this, my brother, my sister, it's better we stop all our democracy and we go back to the kingship. The kingdoms where people die and follow their kings once the kings die. Where human sacrifices were so rife. Because I don't understand. Anytime there is this kind of thing, then people are confused between tradition and this. When the Queen Mother herself was a Christian. How do Christians bury their dead? Do they have curfews? She had one leg in what? Christianity, and one leg in what? Traditional African religion, or what is it? So when this person dies, who decides where they should go? Christian or non-Christian? And I hear Otunfo himself is Christian. So where is the tradition? I'm asking. Are we confused? Or are we playing politics? Somebody goes to Savior Church, Anglican Church, speaks in tongues, reads the Bible, and says that her life is for Jesus Christ. When the person dies, we bring Okonfo-Anokye to come and play to pour libation. Schools are closed down. What is supposed to be the future of the little children? Closed down. From universities all the way down to kindergartens. Everybody go home and sleep. And when you talk, they say, but it's just for one day. Do you know the value of how much you're going to lose in one day? Somebody will say, oh, but in the developed countries, they also have holidays. And so when they have holidays, in most of the countries that I know, people are at liberty. Private people to go to work. And even on the day, their salaries or their pay, they double, sometimes even triple. Because whilst people are supposed to have holidays, you are out there working. It's not a blanket thing that everybody must, whether you like it or not, go on holiday. They do this. And we don't do that. We chase them for resources every now and then. Are we not making a mockery of ourselves? Ashanti Hima has died. Beat the drums. Dance the adwa. Sing the beautiful songs. Do whatever you want to do. But please, let the economy continue to grow. Let people be at liberty to go about their normal whatever. Those who want to come and be part of the thing, let them be free to come and be. Don't force everybody to come and do one thing that is, I don't know. The independence of Ghana comes. They say Independence Day, no work. All schools in Ghana are closed down because of the independence. So people should go and march and what? Celebrate the independence of Ghana. The whole country called Ghana. In recent times, people have been complaining that there are too many holidays. Because anytime there's a holiday, productivity comes to a halt. We live in a country where there are too many holidays. That's how come I loved what Mahama did. When Mahama came into power, he said our independence is important. But every day we go and march, we close down all the schools and all that, and people come and do their own thing, and then we give them holidays on top to go and rest and all that. At the end of the day, it doesn't look like the nation is even moving forward. We are still not understanding what our independence is. The school children, do they understand what their independence is? They only know it's a holiday, they are going to march. Some of them collapse because we don't even care to give them water. Mahama said no. Now, people will not go out there and march. Gradually, another president will come out and say, you know what? Our holidays will be celebrated. But we shall celebrate the holidays over the weekend when we are not going to school, when we are supposed to rest. That's where the real sacrifice is. Where is the sacrifice when I'm supposed to be working? And they say, oh, don't work. Come and march on holiday and go out. There's absolutely no sacrifice. What I'm saying is too deep for some people to understand. I'm supposed to go to farm and work for 5 hours. Then they say some holiday has come. For that matter, I shouldn't go and work. I should go and march instead. I'll go and march for 2 hours or so. And then I go away and they say that, oh, I've come to celebrate independence. Where is the sacrifice? Where is the sacrifice? There's absolutely no sacrifice, because in the schools where the teachers are supposed to be teaching, when they leave the schools and come and march, if they were supposed to work 8 hours in the school, 6 hours in the school, they come and march for 4 hours, 5 hours and go away. What have they lost? Who is the bigger loser? Is the state. So when we have our independence, all those things, let's move them towards the weekends, where we are supposed to rest. When we go out, instead of resting and show our love for our independence, that is where the real sacrifice is. I don't know how many people agree with what I'm saying, but it is what it is. If we continue getting ourselves confused as to whether we are traditionalists or we are Christians or Muslims, and when we die, the family is divided into two. Oh, these people say, oh, this one was a Muslim, this side was this. I don't know. We will end up killing ourselves. Tradition is important. Let those who want to do it, but they must not force people to be part of it if they don't want to be it. No. There shouldn't be a blanket statement anywhere that people who live in this area, everybody must go to bed because somebody has died. The other day, in that area, at the back there, somebody said somebody had died. Therefore, there will be light off in the Ajua South constituency. Somebody had died. Some chief or something. Some chief who... For that matter, the whole area light out. Everybody must sleep. Hey, are we serious? Let's look at some of these things. It's good to celebrate our tradition. It's good to celebrate our history. But let's do it in such a way that at the end of celebration, it's like a man who is going to get married. He borrows money from all over and goes to have a big celebration. Then he goes back home broke and goes around begging in order to feed himself and his wife. Let's think about this. Let's have a strong national debate on this. Don't force anybody to be part of something that they don't want to be. Especially tradition and beliefs is the blackboard, aka Kokoshonemo, where we speak truth to power.
Enti abusha Black Rasta enu monsam na ekotie no, but me ofa me ne Black Rasta eya adwen na enye eye Asante man ko a nemom the whole Ghana, the northern part omokro kan ho, because you know free manye. The whole Ghana, majority of our chiefs, you know, me ayana meka say the race are my confused. The black race, especially your West Africa Hanum, Ghana to be precise. Yeah, you see, you're traditionalist, and near nimuni say you konyo no kra no ye de ahenfo no etena so no. Akonwa no bosom, and asori enso ene abosomsiam enko naso enne nanase me yo hene o san so se me kwa asori nti awraho sam awom ne se wutumi ehu ohene pon pa ohene we de o se ohene we odimu osipi esita no akwa butu osofo a ne turu mu bini sabio momfa ncheme ena ase no de nsa agu na pampam so ogbo mpae ama no se oye traditionalist now to traditional say oti yamamre ne ana yamani ase a ohene abutu obi ani ma ne de nsa tu ne tiri so ayemusuo totally na so yetumi nya ahemfo no ohene ba ko yetumi nya ahemfo ahodo etumi kwa asofo na ase ebutu asofo na ase eme ye de nsa to o ma pompom mu se ye bompa ya momo Timeless. God on the mighty. Nokre say ye kan ya nipa mpe nokre eno ne ya de ha your mind no and ye de sa nokre na ye mpe ene se wo kan nokre na they are coming after you ninti no ena me ayo no so no ye niema bebre e ka akiri enne ubenya wo hene not ye konwa so o se ye fra me John ubenya ohene not ye konwa so o se ye fra me Michael ubenya ohene not ye konwa so o se ye fra me David ubenya ohene not ye konwa so o se ye fra me Moses ubenya ohene not ye konwa so o se ye fra no Muhammad ede ne ebaaye a nana kunadu ye kan say ede ene baaye a edin bi te say ye kan say nkra obri eboa enu mu nyina wo honom na saa din no ene efiri wonom emma John ene nwan mu slaves names eteteti ye nkonwa so eba ne say ye no ane say na amene nti oba ya Ashanti mamu kra dey at least aya eyema ne ye fe yekoya sorry kra yegunsa ya amamne ne amane okọ ahemfie ni bia obonye ohene bi ti akonya so no atumi aka che osa media mekọ asole nti mingunsa na kroma fo so te ho ne ye hwe han hwe no so wabetena akonya so mingunsa menya amamne ne amane na mote wo hwe no so ye ohene ni sika owo nti eno ene ye niguase ene ye ha ne ababrese nti saa ohene ne baaye no wo say nsu ya mfa no nso no Yesu Kristo ati bibia ho ena Yesu Kristo ataka say onhwe de enye galamse wo nsuom mfa no ena de abedru hai nti Rasta nsem bi a wo ka no ne fa bi no eye nokre ba sa nka ye mpemfo kuta ya mamre ne amane mu a anka ba say ye lock it down say even pharmacists no wan akwa ye lock isifi say ye nana se okura na mamre ne na manya ni tumi ni mu a yenim se kona a wo no okọ na so kan ho enti se eja bi na eba opese se eja ne ba na eja ne kwan na oja idi mbone a obeja ma de nakọ so mpene sa nso a ono na onim kwan a one ne nananom a okọ akoto wom no mbeba be hia no kwan no onim kon be fa so mbe control Africa ye tumi no ye tumi nanso no ye jana jeje mu na amankofo bi abafa de adane concert party the spirituality na ye hu no aye concert party o eneti ne ye mu bi aye di ne yete wonom na ye hwe ne ma di aye na nkofo kan sem bi so na ye nokre the silence of the good people is collapsing the world because ye na ye hu niama no se ne sitie no ya ye din ene ye hwe na agbone afui ategum hey ha ene ye dwonkwalize bibia abusha kakra me wo ma hono no menko deep se ne be ya video no enwa bebre no ya nje nkratwe yi na san hwe me next video
ano kwamo mianka na awodi nipa pina ekwa tete mu pao amani pampempema wale agu odia sampa spiritual and herbal center awo wo mo yade se wo mbe mu wanya basisi a yade bi tse stroke gonorrhea anabama waye mre e wampamu low sperm count wo mo wano aduro tatahwe ene je sam ne se seba ne sunsumu nsama wo mo telete se ye sunsumu aware anasa yare bi ne yade amawo pampabone anabo ana wanya abai amane e court case wo betu charge osisi a enam omadwuma panti ni pampempem ene be fo bokofie ekoye sunsumu nyuma edemom se mosini ene enzimani akabo mu dia sunsumu niama asie betu obi age wukunu anasa wo yire awaresem adwuma sam akwantuom nsam ni nyina aya sumasem fa bedan odia sampa spiritual and herbal center obehuyan
New Koforidua ejoso ne konongo infinfin aye Ashanti region ehon ma number a didi juma no 054 330 4976 anase 020 134 0421 054 330 4976 anase 020 134 0421
Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. Ye be diwa samamount.